My name is Jason Flack. I am the, I think at this point I can still say the new gallery director of the Mercer Gallery. I thank you all for showing up to what is hopefully going to be termed the only virtual student art exhibition and award ceremony. I hope next year we are actually able to be on campus and doing this live. One thing I'm going to ask everyone, especially the people who know they're speaking, especially the students who know they're going to be speaking, if you can make your screen name your name, because Kathy Farrell is going to be managing unmuting and muting people. So if you are a student who knows you're going to be speaking at some point, just add your last name so that Kathy does not have to hunt and peck and find you and unmute the wrong person. So I'd appreciate that. All right, and I should also point out right at the beginning, I am one of the lucky faculty members on MCC's campus who has been able to teach on campus since September. All of my production courses have been on campus, and I Zoom very little. So if there's anything that's going to go wrong today in the next hour or so, it's going to be me completely screwing up Zoom, guaranteed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to screen share the start of the PowerPoint. This is where it's going to fall apart, of course. And I'm going to start with a few pictures. Here's a picture from the 2019 Student Art Exhibition. There I am in my nice dress shirt, doing the award ceremony on campus, people around. You can see food on the tables of people eating. And the openings traditionally are these kind of big events. We do a barbecue, you know, families show up, you know, we have a lot of fun giving the awards, and it's just like a big party. And Kathy, you were literally like right over here on the left side of the screen, and I cut you out because you were about to bite into like a big cheeseburger. And then the next picture I want to show, this was the Student Art Exhibition opening last year of 2020. With the shutdown pretty much happening mid-March, I don't think there was any way Kathy and I could have pulled together any sort of exhibition, student award ceremony in the month and a half and made it a good event. I mean, most of us were still trying to figure out how to teach or how to learn in this new environment. So, you know, ideally what we're doing right now with a Zoom presentation and a virtual opening, probably not the ideal situation, but I can guarantee you it is definitely better than having no celebration at all. So I thank you all for showing up to the like I said, the first and last virtual opening. What I'm going to ask, I know there's a lot of faculty, both full-time, adjuncts, retired. I'd like faculty to, in a little while, introduce yourselves just so we can be aware of the fact that you're all here. I appreciate you being here. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to, once we kind of get into some of the discussions and the speakers, just go into the chat room and just type your name if you're willing to unmute and say hello to everybody quickly and just say who you are and where you teach. And we'll be doing that. We have like 3 speakers and then we'll kind of introduce the faculty. So just hop into the chat room, type your name in there, and we'll get to you soon. The exhibition really is more about the website. Kathy started the website a few years ago when she was on a professional leave. And I have since inherited it, and it has grown. It's becoming something really great. Unfortunately, due to all the ADA compliance that we have to do, I really have to make sure that everybody knows that this is currently still a work in progress. And the website will be scoured top to bottom over the next week or so from the computing technology area. And as soon as they give the approval to make it go live, it will actually go live. So we are getting a sneak preview of a work in progress. As soon as it's approved and live, I will send out a trip announcement. I will send out an email. I'll have Kathy blasted on the Facebook page. But until then, it really is supposed to be a hush hush kind of thing. So let's just all remember that. So just, I guess, don't share it to everybody out there in the world. I want to give a couple real quick thanks. Sean Baker in Computing and Information Technology. He's helped me a lot with kind of the web development side of things, and especially the ADA compliance stuff that I've had to learn over the last couple months. Jeremy Case in Instructional Technology. He was great in answering a whole bunch of Zoom questions I blasted at him a few weeks ago. My friend Denton Brown, he helped me on various WordPress things in between WandaVision episodes. Brad Butler, he is our juror. He did an amazing job, and I can only imagine how hard it is to do all this stuff virtually. He will be joining us later, which is great. I want to thank Dr. Jacobs and Dr. Wade for encouraging me to do something so challenging. And I should be putting encouraging because they pretty much demanded that I have this website going as Mike wags his finger at me. Dr. Douglas, the wonderful conversations we had while I was hanging work up in your office. And you actually were giving me kind of ideas of ways that I can show students, in a kind of more of a virtual sense. So I thank you for that. All of the rest of the guest speakers who are giving up their Wednesday at 5 o'clock, don't need to really say much more about that. So I appreciate all that. The students who submitted work, the faculty who helped promote all of this stuff. And I would be remiss to not thank my friend and mentor, Kathy Farrell, for all her knowledge on all things Mercer Gallery. So with all those thank yous, and especially the thank you to Kathy, I want to turn the presentation over to Kathy because she has some words to share.
Excellent. Thank you, Jason. It's wonderful to be here. It's wonderful to be part of this. The student show is always my favorite time of year. Not that the semester ends and all that and it's summer, but just that it's so great, to have the students here and involved. So Jason asked me to speak a little bit about my 34-year career at the Mercer Gallery as a director. And he asked me to keep it within 3 minutes. I guess I'll have to talk fast. I know it sounds a little crazy, but I'll try to do it. I retired officially at the end of August in 2020, a strange time to say goodbye to what was a lifetime of work. As you can imagine, 34 years of being the only director of the Mercer Gallery, looking back and beginning, it's been really amazing. As Jason will attest to, I keep everything. 34 years of everything and multiple copies of it. Clearing out my office and sorting all that out, and it's taken me most of this past year. So in a way, I've been volunteering. And with Jason's help, we managed to do all that. Okay, so I thought I'd give you a little bit of history about the gallery as I remember it, because it was a long time ago when I started. The whole idea came out of to have a gallery run by the art department. And it kind of grew out of a need to have a place to show student work, because like I said, the student show was and always is one of the most important exhibits that we have and house, throughout the years there. So initially, it was thought out through a meeting in a room where the faculty would have a meeting. And it was really just a large storage room with map files, cutting boards, old furniture, and a coffee pot, usually with yesterday's coffee still in it. Emeritus Professor Joe Hendrick had the idea to clean it all out and take over an office space and then turn those two spaces into a gallery. And that's what became the Mercer Gallery. It was over the summer of 1986. The renovation took place as a summer project for our facilities group. And somewhere in between all that, I was hired to make that idea a reality. I began in September 1986. My first task at hand was we needed a name for the gallery and a mission statement. Well, the mission statement was easy because George McDade, who was the chair forever, was also a a philosopher of art and wordsmith, and so that came pretty easily. So the idea was that the gallery schedule would have cultural events along with exhibitions. The purpose was to meet an instructional need for the department, which would present current and challenging work not readily available in Rochester. So we envisioned this gallery, which would present art and artists, which could be integrated into the work and curriculum to serve the instructional model of a contemporary art for our students and the college's mission statement. As for the name, we wanted the name to be represent those programming ideas and to represent what we felt was an individual that meant something to us. Not a past college president, sorry folks, a donor, or someone that never stepped foot in a gallery. We all basically came up with the same person. The gallery is named for Thomas Mercer. Tom was a liberal arts student back in 1980 and 81, and I knew him because I was a student back then. He was an African-American, a Vietnam vet. He moved here from Kentucky to study at MCC using his GI Bill to acquire an associate's degree. He was a musician, a poet, an artist, the Pied Piper. We called him the Pied Piper to all. And he encouraged everyone he encountered. There's a story about him where a fellow needed a piano. He found one and actually rolled it down the street to the guy's house. Tom was shot on the street corner while using a public telephone. He died moments later at Northside Hospital in the emergency room moments later. When naming the gallery, we couldn't think of anyone who would be better than Tom Mercer to represent what MCC is all about. The gallery has a number of artworks in our collection, including a sketchbook and journal, which he drew and wrote in every day. He kept a daily, book just to kind of write his ideas, his poems, his ideas for songs. And so we own one of those, actually. It's part of our collection. To this day, you can still find the words, "Long live Tom Mercer," scribed on bridges and water towers throughout Rochester. So our first show, with all that in mind, was a man who immigrated here from Cuba. His name is Alberto Ray. He's also known, goes by Chico, and he teaches at Fredonia. He, at the time, was graduating from the University of Buffalo with a Master's of Fine Art in Painting. And so I invited him to show his work, mostly because he was a great artist, a great teacher, and was hungry to have a show of his thesis. And so then it all began, November 1, 1986. And since that time, we have since moved to a larger space, expanded into hallways and other forums. And from that beginning, there's been hundreds of shows, gallery talks, residencies, lectures, special events, all on a shoestring budget with a grassroots attitude. To look at the history, you would think it had a team of 20 running the little gallery of 1,000 square feet. The team of a director, volunteers, student workers have kept this gallery moving and flourishing for years and for years to come. Of all these shows and all these years, my favorite, as I mentioned before, has always been the student show because it represents what we do. It represents hard work, determination for our students, and showcases their talent and the professors' excellent teaching. I salute you all for being a part of this today, and congratulations on your achievements. This past year, I've been volunteering with Jason to continue with the collection installation, sorting through important documents, all the crap I've saved over the years, and lending a hand for other projects. It's been hard to let go, and I hope I'm helping and not getting in the way. My hope is to pass off my knowledge and teaching of the gallery, the history, and management skills. So at this point, I have the great opportunity and privilege of introducing Dr. Douglas, the past interim president for the past 1.5 years of all this COVID craziness. So at this point, I give you Dr. Kate Douglas. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Emerita Farrell. Your legacy will live on, and I can't imagine that anyone at MCC is going to ask you to stop giving your time and talent to the Mercer Gallery. I'm sure we benefit from that, not only for the past 34 years, but for all the time you're willing to continue to give us. So it's a legacy that I hope you can be proud of, because we are at MCC.
Thank you.
You know, Kathy, as a person who retired after all those years during a pandemic year, we didn't get much of an opportunity to really celebrate you. So I just want to pause for a moment and say bravo for all you have done for so many years. Professor Emerita Farrell, we couldn't have the art program that we have at MCC without you.
Thank you. Thank you. Feels good.
And Jason, I'm adding this to my tally of the number of receptions that used to have food that I'm attending that I'm not getting anything to eat. I have a long list.
I definitely owe you a few bites of food and some bad coffee.
I'll take both. I'll take both. This past 15 months at MCC has been extraordinary. And I want to applaud everyone here for managing to continue to do the good work of MCC through an extraordinary year. To be able to move through the teaching and learning and service that MCC is known for, not just regionally, but nationally. With everything, with the world getting turned upside down, congratulations and thank you. To continue in this remote virtual world, this combination hybrid world has not been easy, whether you're teaching or learning in it. So thank you for continuing and for carrying the torch, and specifically in art. I am the daughter of an artist. So I grew up around the creative process, and I've come to really respect its power. Not only its transformative power, for example, when the art is in a gallery and you get to interact with the art, or it's in a hallway and it transforms a space, or it transforms the viewer, or in many ways, almost more so, it transforms the artist in the process of creating the art. And that is something sacred, absolutely sacred. And that this department has continued to be able to do that under these remarkable circumstances is something to be acknowledged, appreciated, and applauded. You know, I think about all the different things that I read during this pandemic about ways that people who were cooped up and locked down had to find some way to be creative because they were going nuts. And I think, turn to your artists, turn to the artists in your life. Ask them, how can I turn this energy into a creative process for me? And I will share that Jason helped motivate me to do a little work in photography. And I found myself going through a process of just taking photographs when I would walk and coming back and finding something that created that awe moment, that I'm in awe of this moment. Oftentimes it was nature, but I anticipate going to your website, Jason, and being able to have many awe moments because of the great respect and awe that I have for the creative process. Speaking of which, we want to, certainly we get the opportunity this evening to acknowledge the student artists. And I'm very, very pleased to say that I've made a donation so that there is a President's Award. The faculty are selecting who wins the President's Award, but I couldn't be happier to do it this year when we are also really acknowledging Professor Emerita Farrell. So it might be the President's Award, Kathy, but in my mind, you're framed all around it.
Thank you.
And as we were saying, as we were bantering before we got started, it's not every year that you get to have not one, but two presidents in attendance. So even though we can't be face to face, even though we can't be enjoying those nibbles, we can be enjoying not one, but two presidents. So it is my great privilege to introduce to you the incoming permanent president of MCC, Dr. Deanna Bertnana.
Oh, thank you so much, Kate. I'm just honored to be in the presence of such wonderful stories and reflections this whole experience today. And I spent a portion of my day with Jason, and I learned a little something about one of my favorite artists that maybe I need to be a little bit more cautious when I tout how much I appreciate his art. But I am, because I don't want people to question my loyalty to democracy. But that is the gift of the creative arts, is the stories behind the stories that get expressed in so many different ways. And Kathy, you and I have not met before today, but I want to just honor your legacy, that it will be just woven throughout. Even I can tell by the expressions of individuals today and how the impact is. And thank you for the background on the story of the Mercer Gallery, and did not know that, but as someone coming from another state into New York as president, I appreciate being able to celebrate and have understanding of the historical perspective behind why we have honored Mr. Mercer the way that we have. That's just such a beautiful story. It's days like this that I'm reminded of how long of a history I've had in supporting the arts in so many different ways, and even the visual arts, the culinary arts, the performing arts, where me and my two children have participated in different points in our lives. And as Dr. Douglas represented, it's such a time in our history of where the arts, I believe, has been elevated, rightfully so, in the minds of people, and how it shapes perspective or tells a story or describes a portion of our history. And so I'm just so grateful to be here today celebrating the excellence of your faculty. Each of you, I just want to say thank you for your dedication and sharing your talents with your students, and to the students that persevered through a pandemic. And so thank you all for all of us being here in this space again today. I mean, it's just such a wonderful opportunity and time for all of us to be together. And I'm just grateful also that MCC has made the visual and the fine arts essential to the quality of the learning experience that we provide. The understanding of how it promotes creativity and empowers students to express the creative elements of themselves. I think it's really, really important. And although that you all have been challenged by the time or the seasons in different ways, yet and still you have contributed to one another's learning and all of us in here together. So I'm just so grateful for that. And I'm learning more about the history of the alumni of this program and discipline, and how not only they have helped to shape what we do at MCC, but how you continue to inspire our community, and your reflection of your work is still just elements of that. Yourselves are all throughout the Rochester region and the state and even the nation. I mean, we have individuals in our student ranks as well as our faculty ranks that have been nationally recognized. And so what a moment of pride for us all. I guess as incoming president, I just want you to know how much I value and appreciate the inspiration and the dedication and the art of your work, and really look forward to engaging with many of you again and celebrating you all as students in this moment of this virtual gathering that we have here today. So I thank you for the time that you've given me to make those expressions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bertnana. Thank you so much. Okay, Kathy, did we have any faculty that want to open up mic and say hello? Or
I feel that everyone that's here should say hello.
all right, so do I need to go in and unmute them, or did you already do that?
No, I think Marge wants to go first. She's already unmuted herself.
March from graphic arts, and I will be seeing all of you, and I see a lot of my students in here. So thanks for everything, guys.
Jethro Gates or this. I don't know if you want to say anything. We got Franzi.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Kathy.
Hey,
That
Farrell.
was a beautiful setup, and my thousands of thanks to you over the years and making this all happen and inspiring all of us. I see a lot of our students here today, and that's great. I teach in the fine arts department, so I teach the foundation classes, beginning drawing, drawing 2, comics and sequential art, figure drawing. I am the advisor of the comic book club, so I look forward to working with you students again. And you produced, despite the pandemic, some great work this semester. So I am psyched to see this virtual exhibit.
I think Greg Lendak was in. I don't know if he wants to say anything.
Hi, nice to see you guys. I have to say this is a really excellent turnout, and I think that everybody is now locked in for any future exhibitions. It's being recorded, so there's no choice of getting out of this down the road when we get together again. Nice work, everyone. Thank you for letting me participate.
All right, thank you.
I'm
Bill
Yasna.
Lamont.
Oh,
Oops, sorry.
that's okay.
Go ahead, Yasna. Well, you're gonna have your whole show, but go ahead. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Yasna Bogdanovska, and I teach photography in the Visual and Performing Arts Department. And I wanted to say that I was a student at MCC a long time ago, so I'm an alumni. And I remember Kathy being in the gallery back then when I was a photo major at MCC. And it was just wonderful to have you on the side of a colleague and mentor through the years. So thank you, and we'll miss you a lot. And for the students, I can't be prouder to see my students here and all the students, but just to see their growth, even in this hard times. It's been difficult for all of us, but for them especially, and to be inspired to do work has been just wonderful for us to see that you went through and you continued. So thanks.
Great, thanks, Yasna.
Hey, Kat, you want me to say something?
Yeah, Bill.
It's Mel.
Oh, Mel.
Yeah. Remember that with you.
Yeah.
Wait to see me.
Go ahead.
Well, I respect everybody. My name's Carmelo Ortiz, and I'm a community artist, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know who I am. I do a lot of things for MCC, a lot of murals at MCC. MCC is my heart, and it's my life. I just wanted to express myself because I was a kid that was homeless at 8 years old. I lived in the streets with my mother for 2 years. I had no value to my art at all. I was a graffiti artist, and whenever I could do it, I would do it. When I met Kathy, I was a typical street kid with jewelry and hanging off, no professionalism. And she gave me my first job, and she told me, you have to dress this way, you have to walk this way, she molded me. But I say what I say because she's been that way her whole life. That's why, to me, she's Mama Mercer. And she will always be Mama Mercer because she changed my life. I didn't have any value. And this is what MCC does to kids that come from a place like me. I came from the South Bronx with no desire, no determination. And she put desire, she put determination, she put value into me. And I know Mike Jacobs and everybody else there that knows me, they know that MCC is my world because of Kathy, Joe, Chuck, all the people that were there for me. But Kathy has stuck by me from day one. She never judged me. She never put me down. She made me concentrate on my artwork. And I thank her for changing my life because in turn, that changed my thinking and made me a better father. It made me a better person. My son's Carmelo Ortiz. He's the fourth. And who else's hands would I put his career in? In my mentor and my love of my mother figure, Katherine Farrell. It's more,
Thank you,
it's more to me It's just the education that MCC does for these kids, because I'm one of these kids. And I didn't know the value of what I possessed until MCC and Kathy and the faculty showed. So I want to thank you, and I want to thank you from the Ortiz family. My wife is here, everybody's here. And it was all you, Kat. It was all you.
Thank you, Mel. It was beautiful. Okay, Bill DeMont, did you want to chime in? I think that's all we got in terms of faculty.
Sure, I'm not sure I can speak after that.
I
Thanks for
know.
telling your story, Mel. That just makes it even more proud than I already am to teach at MCC. So back in 2002, I was sitting at home on the first night of the semester, not having any classes to teach anywhere, and Kathy gave me a call. Actually, Paul Bartow gave me a call from Kathy's office and said, we just had someone quit and we have 2 classes that start tomorrow. Would you be interested in teaching them? I said, how long do I have to decide? She said, 10 minutes. And I've been there ever since and loving it.
Good.
So I'm a lifelong adjunct. Usually I teach drawing 1 and drawing 2, have some students that's good to see your faces and some colleagues that's great to see. I live in Oswego, so I haven't been in MCC or even in Rochester for quite a long time, and I miss it. So this is a great happening. I'm glad Jason's putting this together, and appreciate all the years, Kathy, that you did what you did. I'm an exhibition coordinator here in Oswego, so I know how hard it is, and sometimes the long hours. Everyone goes home and you're still there, right?
Don't tell Jason.
No.
Okay, cool.
All right, is that everybody? It looks like
I
everybody.
think so. We got everybody.
So what I'm going to do again is screen share. We're going to kind of start the presentation, the official presentation. And we've got a few scholarships to kind of point out first. Now it's asking me, there we go. Come on. One of the things I wanted to kind of share in this is the Hope Scholarship. This is a scholarship, a Rochester area scholarship sponsored by ROFIS, which is the Rochester Association of Film Arts and Sciences. The way it works is this group asks each college that has a video production or some sort of film production major, and each teacher gets to submit one application or nominate one scholar. And I was the last one to have put in my nomination. I literally waited till the day it was due, just because I had so many students that I felt like I could nominate. And I ended up nominating Lucas Hubbard. And you're going to see and hear from Lucas Hubbard in a little bit, but I wanted to share his video with you. So this is his video that was screened at the Scholarship Award ceremony a few weeks ago.
Hi guys, my name's Lucas and I'm 22 years old. Believe it or not, I used to have extremely red and curly hair, and this photograph was taken by this man. This is my grandfather, and he worked at Kodak almost his entire life. He passed away a few years ago, and when helping my family clean their basement, I found this old suitcase of his. I was surprised when I opened it, and I saw that it was his original Konica film camera. After shooting a few of his original rolls of film, I realized that I had a passion for photography. With this newfound passion, I started to invest my own money into gear that suited me best for the style of shooting that I wanted to do. Photography has allowed me to travel and explore and have some amazing sights. From my world to your world. Thank you, Grandpa.
Okay, and next we're going to move on to the William H. Lagerway and Faith Prather Endowed Scholarship for Students in Photography. And for that, I am going to introduce my colleague, Jasna Bagnanovoska. Did I say it? Was I close, Jasna? Did I say?
Bogdanovoska.
I
What
feel
is
like
it, 11 years later and it's still not correct?
I feel like I
It's
just didn't say it
Bogdanov.
fast enough.
Just call him Flock.
It's okay. Thank you, Jason. So it's my pleasure and honor to introduce the 4 winners of the William H. Lagerwey and Faith Prather Endowed Scholar. Pursuing careers in photography, and was made possible by $145,000 gift from Lagerwey's estate to Monroe Community College Foundation. An award-winning photographer and lens designer for major corporations such as Bausch & Lomb, American Optical, and Welch Allen, Lagerwey served as a photojournalist during the Vietnam War. Dr. Faith Prather, an extensively published author, has focused her scholarship efforts on women as leaders, as well as issues in teaching effectiveness. Dr. Prather spent her 20-year career in higher education as an associate professor in the master's program in the Department of Public Administration at the College of Brockport. And she has also served at the college's director as the college's director of affirmative action, she was the co-founder of the college's Women's Center. This scholarship is awarded to full-time students with passions for photography, enrolled in the AAS Visual Communication degree in television and photography, with minimum of 2.5 GPA, who demonstrated financial need and are planning to continue their education at a 4-year college. The scholarship committee reviewed the applications and portfolios of the students. And after deliberating, we chose the finalists. The finalists had to prepare a portfolio and present in front of the committee and answer questions. This year, as I said, we have 4 students that are the recipients of the scholarship, but they're very different in their sensibilities as photographers. Their interests vary from advertising photography to documenting the social landscape. The thread that connects them all, though, is the maturity and the exceptional quality of their work. And I'm so proud I was able to witness their growth from Photo 1, being in my Photo 1 classes, to today. Each student will receive $1,625, and their work will be displayed in the Lagerwey Prather gallery, which is in Building 4. So if you're on campus for some reason, I would urge you to go and see their work. The 4 winners are Omara Abdul Rahim, Bethany Couture, Lucas Hubbard, and Melissa Tylock. Thank you, Jason. Umara started as a business major, but soon discovered her passion for photojournalism. She enjoys reflecting on the human condition through the camera lens. She also does painting and sketching, physically and digitally, and she creates complex worlds between the observer and her work. Bethany Couture is also a photography major, and she plans on continuing her education at RIT in advertising photography. She's also a mother of 3 children and a volunteer photographer for the grassroots organization Citizen Action. Lucas Hubbard has been photographing for 7 years and doing video for 3. Through his passion for photography and videography, he plans on documenting major events around the world to bring an unbiased opinion through his creative work. And he was also the recipient of the previous scholarship. You saw his video work. And Melissa Tylock is also a photography major, and she's expected to graduate this May. In addition to the scholarship, her piece Life During COVID has been selected to represent MCC in the 35th League for Innovation art competition. And maybe you've seen her work actually on the invite for this exhibition, for this art opening. And as I said, their work will be in Building 4. So now we can, we'll allow for the students to say a couple of words.
We'll do Bethany.
Hi, I'm Bethany. I'd first like to thank Dr. Prather for the scholarship. It means a lot to me to have someone invest into us and our future. With the money, I was able to upgrade my camera. I had a 2012 Nikon D800. So as you can imagine, it's quite old, quite outdated, and it was refurbished on top of all that. So it wasn't functioning 100% all the time. It was acting kind of wonky. So I was able to actually get something that was considerably the same but newer model. So that meant a lot to me because I didn't want to downgrade. I wanted to stay the same. So, and then I'd also like to thank the professors that are here and the ones that are not here that have installed into me their knowledge, and that really helped to nurture me in my growth and just sort of pushed me to do better and just do the best that I personally can, and also just the nitpick and tell me how I can do better and just the inspiration and the knowledge of other photographers before me. Thank you.
Thank you. Lucas.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lucas Hubbard. I'm currently just about to finish my third semester. I have one more for my visual communications degree. Like to take a second to thank Dr. Faith Prather. You know, it means a lot that you've donated for this scholarship. I went to school. Well, I first went to MCC in 2016, and just the way, you know, timing worked out, I ended up dropping out before I even got, you know, a quarter way through the semester. I focused on work. I focused on investing into my craft, heavily into my photography equipment as well as my video equipment. And I wanted a change in life, so I decided to go back to school. And when I went back to school, I set a goal for myself to graduate debt free. And I've paid every semester in full day one. And with semester 4 coming around the corner, winning this scholarship allowed me to solidify that goal and, you know, graduate debt free. And it's a really big thing for me because I've been using proceeds from my photo and video work to invest into real estate. And now that I have one more semester that's paid for, I'm able to really start pursuing real estate as a way to kind of bring in passive income and fund my life. So I'm able to travel around the world and document these events. And, you know, it's my biggest hope to, you know, my community and my people is to show the world through, you know, my eyes and in my lenses and bring an unbiased opinion. So, you know, I can just document and show how the world and its people have evolved over time. So, you know, thank you everybody, you know, who took their time out of their Wednesday nights to come, and, you know, congratulations to everybody else who submitted work.
Thank you, Lucas. And last but not least, Melissa.
Hi, I feel like I'm going to say a lot of things that the rest of them have said, but I'm so internally grateful for this kind of opportunity. I mean, thank you to Yasna for, you know, basically being like, you have to submit as part of like class and everything. And it just, life is a lot of little moments that change your whole life, and earning the scholarship was one of them. And I'm just so grateful for this new outlook. Like I agree with Umara. Like I didn't think that my work it was mostly for me. Like I didn't think that other people would look at it and feel some type of way. So this just kind of opened my eyes that, you know, other people are seeing the type of work that I can do, and they're relating to it, or they're feeling something from it. And I think that's just like the most powerful thing about photography, is that you don't need words to express yourself. So this scholarship just really just moved my life into a whole different direction that I didn't think that I would go. And I'm just so grateful. So thank you.
Thank you all.
you.
I'm so proud. And I'm glad that you were not on the scholarship committee deciding who will get the scholarship. So, so now we will have Dr. Calvin Gant, MCC's Chief Diversity Officer, and he will introduce the League for Innovation Art Contest winners.
Well, thank you, Jasna. I cannot even begin to follow up on all of these amazing stories and messages, and I'm going to give you history of an organization. Wow, I'm going to just bring it home with my history information, but I will try to get it done as quickly as possible because students, I recognize your messages from 45 minutes ago. Some of you have class at 6 o'clock. So here we go. So good evening. It was stated, I'm Calvin Gant. I'm the Chief Diversity Officer for MCC, but I'm also the liaison to the League for Innovation, of which we are a part. It's certainly my pleasure to join you all this evening. It's my first time to be a part of this event, and I do plan to be a part of it again moving forward. So thank you for the opportunity to speak to you all. So the League of Innovation was founded in 1968. And it was founded by Lamar Johnson and a couple of other very prominent people who participated in some of the community colleges and technical colleges in the area. So it's been in service, as you can see, for over 50 years. And we are proud as an MCC institution to be a part of that, because this organization is one of the premier organizations, not only in the US, but in Canada as well. Okay, so just so you are aware of how prestigious this organization is, the League's Board of Directors, of which MCC is one of them, has 19 members, okay? Only 19 in the entire country and Canada, and MCC is a part of that. Now, there are 500 institutions that are a part of the organization, but there are only 19 members of the Board of Directors, and so they fund a lot of activities and a lot of support for events such as this through the world. They do a lot of strategic directives. So they're really on top of their game. And we're just so happy to be a part of this initiative at our institution. So just like this art competition, they really focus on community colleges, including diversity, equity, and inclusion, information technology, workforce development, leadership development, learning, and student success. Those are the primary tenets for the League of Innovation. And so this art installation is just another example of the work that they do. So this is the 35th annual League for Innovation art competition, and it's actually being hosted by Kirkwood Community College in Eastern Iowa. So you're aware, it rotates around to different institutions each year. So an institution is responsible for doing all the collection of everything and putting that information forward. So this year it was Kirkwood in Iowa. Each college is allowed to submit 5 pieces for the competition, and those things are juried for the top prizes. So again, very competitive. So if you happen to be the recipient of these awards, just know that you are in high competition. Awards for this year should be announced by the end of the summer. At MCC, we allow every art student to submit up to 3 images for consideration, and all of these works are then juried by participating faculty. This year, MCC has a large number of submissions, and the jury process, as you can imagine, was a difficult one, considering all of the great work that we heard about already this evening. We wish these students luck in the competition, but I hope that they know they've been selected to represent the college, and that in itself is an honor. So at this point, we would like to begin to recognize the 5 students who were selected. The first one is Megan Fallis, and for her drawing of Monocopolis. The second recipient is Renee Guerin for her digital piece Resilient. The third person is Matthew Wu, and for his painting Self-Portrait. Next, we've heard this name before, Melissa Tylock, for her photography Life During COVID. And last but not least is Zazie Wilgen for her illustration of Thalassophia. So congratulations to all of the students.
Thank you very much, Calvin. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Some of the students are in the house tonight. Congratulations, students.
Yeah. Okay, so now we get on to the actual awards of the art competition, the art exhibition. Before we get to those awards, I want to introduce Brad Butler, who was the juror of the exhibition. He wanted to say a few words before we got into it. So Brad, go ahead and unmute, and I heard you're here.
I'm here, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you, Jason. Yeah, I'm Bradley Butler, Executive Director and Curator at Main Street Arts in Clifton Springs. I'm an alum of MCC. I attended in 2002 to 2004, receiving an associate's degree in graphic design. And I also stayed an extra semester actually to take more art classes before going on to Nazareth College and then to RIT. The art and design departments at MCC stand out to me still to this day. One of the most unique and wonderful experiences that I've had, you know, going to all three colleges that I did go to. There's such an energy and enthusiasm in those departments, and the amazing faculty there. Kept in touch with several former professors that, and I've met others since my time there, and some of them have actually been included in exhibitions here at Main Street Arts, which has been great. And in 2018, I had the honor of having a solo exhibition of paintings in the Mercer Gallery at MCC. Kathy Farrell, congratulations on retiring, by the way, invited me to show my work. It was a great experience, as you could imagine. And I'm grateful to be asked to choose the awards for this year's student exhibition. It was not an easy task, but it was very enjoyable. And as a gallery director and curator, it's encouraging to see such interesting work coming out of MCC. So that was great. I think this has been said probably a few times, but I'm sure this past year has not been an easy one for any of you, but I'm sure it has been memorable. So I wish you all the best of luck in wherever your creative path takes you, and I encourage you all to continue making art in some form or another, and to always make it a priority if you can. So thanks again for having me.
Great, Brad. Thank you so much, Brad.
Thank you, Brad.
Okay, so here we go. Award time. I know some of the students are here. So as we do the awards and announce who it is, if you are here and you said you would say something, or if you're here and you just do want to say something, feel free to unmute yourself and interrupt me at any point in time. We heard Dr. Douglas talking about the President Award in honor of Kathy Farrell. I don't remember her saying that she donated a large $500 award. So this is a $500 award. And this award goes to Megan Fallis for her drawing Monochopsis, if I said that right. And I think Megan's here. Megan, are you still here, or did you have to go to class at 6?
No, I'm still here. Yeah, so I just want to give a quick thank you to all of my professors I've taken classes from the past 2 years. You guys have inspired me so much. I'd like to give a special shout out to Professor Benjamin, as she really lit a fire under my butt, and she's actually who I created, like the class I was in, that's when I created that piece, was because she was so inspiring and just on top of us to produce our best work. So definitely a huge thank you to her, and a huge thank you to Franzi, as he's also my advisor, and he's been so encouraging and so helpful over this past semester, deciding where I'm going next. So yeah, I'm thankful for my parents for creating a space for me at home to be able to create during my time during COVID. You know, they carved out a space for me in the house so that I have a space to create. So I'm super thankful for them, and I'm thankful for all of you. I am so excited about this, so thank you so much.
That's beautiful.
Congratulations, thank you. Okay, next we have the Tom Mercer Award. This is for $250, and this is awarded to Zazie Welgen for her illustration Thalassobias. I want to know what teacher is giving these assignments and making
Thalassobias, they're phobias.
So Zazie, I think you're here. Do you want to chime in?
You know, it's kind of crazy because this is my first semester at MCC, but I feel like I've been here for like decades because my dad teaches here at Franzi, and he's been taking me since I was like a little spazzy kid. So it's amazing to finally be here and to be able to create art here. I want to thank the fantastic faculty here for just being so cool and such inspiration to the students. And I want to thank Kathy and Jason too for sending out regular reminders to submit for this award show and the other thing. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just thank you so much. This is so cool.
Thank you. And Zazie didn't point out, but I think it was about 4 years ago, your band, like Screaming Donuts or something, opened, right? For an opening at some point. So you were what, 14 years old, heading a rock band?
It was Molly McIntyre's opening from Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah. I was teaching at that time, and I just remember like my class is almost done, and then I hear this barrage of Led Zeppelin coming down the hallway. It was awesome. Okay, next we have the, come on, the Robert Smitty Smith Illustration Award. This is for $200. And the award goes to Mark Payton for his illustration Polish poster style Ocean Cleanup. And I've got a note that says Mark is joining us. So Mark, if you want to unmute and say a few words.
Well, that particular piece was the one I figured would probably be the winner. That was from my ideation class during last summer. It was rather interesting learning the Polish poster style and trying to take a world issue and creating a poster that worked well. Now, I'm taking the graphic design, however, I am an illustrator. I have been my entire life. It comes from as far back as my great-grandfather, who was a Dutch painter, and my grandmother, who taught me, all of the basics of perspective drawing and facial anatomy and things of that nature. Shout out to my cousin Joy, who's watching, who's also an artist. But I was rather pleased that of the 4 classes I had this semester, 3 of my professors are here. This particular piece had a lot of fun with trying to figure out how to get a message across with no words whatsoever. Get a strong opinion. That went through about 5 different iterations before I came up with that one. And as you can see, it worked out well for me.
Thank you, Mark. Greatly appreciated. Okay, next we have the Juliana Furlong Williams Painting Award. This is for $200, and it goes to Matthew Wu for his self-portrait painting. And do I have a note? Yep, I even have a note that says Matthew is here as well. So,
Metzer.
Matthew, if you want to unmute and come on in.
I would just like to say that I'm very honored to receive this award. So a little bit about this painting. It was done in Professor Zimmerman's painting class. It was incredibly fun to work on it. It was a challenging piece artistically because, believe it or not, I didn't have much experience coming into this acrylic medium. So it was definitely a learning experience, and I think it really pushed me as an artist. And I like to thank, I also like to thank my professors who have supported me over the years, especially Franzi and Professor Zimmerman. And I'm just very grateful.
Thank you. Next we have, whoops, ruined that surprise. I told you I'd screw this up somehow. The Mercer Gallery Award, this is for $100, and it goes to Jeanette Cargill for her collage piece, Dream Dive. Kathy, did you see if she was here?
Jeanette's not with us. I think she's got to work.
Okay, Jeanette is not.
I'll see her tomorrow night. She's in the art seminar class.
All right. Next, we have the Jurors Choice Award. There's actually 2 Jurors Awards this year because Brad was kind enough to donate his $100 stipend back to the college so that we could give an extra award to his students. So this is that one in particular. And this award goes to Sal Otero for his charcoal drawing self-portrait. And I have a note that says Sal is here. There he is right there.
Hi, I don't know if I'm showing up all right.
You look good.
Yeah, you are. You're good.
I want to thank, first off, the professors at MCC, including Kathy and Bill and Bill DeMott and even Franzi. I never had Franzi as a professor, but he's always been encouraging. I learned so much at MCC just being there, not even 2 years. And I wanted always to be a teacher, and now I feel like I have the tools to be a teacher, and it would be a blast to be a teacher down the line at MCC because I feel at home there. The pandemic has been a struggle with health reasons, but with this self-portrait, I put everything I had into it, almost 35 hours, just erasing and going back in. I don't think I'm a perfectionist. Something has to look right for me to turn it in. So I want to say thank you for thinking of me, and I can't wait to do anything else down the road. So thank you.
Good job, Sal.
Thank you.
All right, next we have the Jurors Award. This one is for $50. And this goes to Gianni Barbero for his drawing Fish on Wall. And I believe Gianni is here also.
Yeah, Gianni's on.
Class.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So I want to thank the professors who pushed me to submit stuff for the for this thing, and mostly the fish on that wall who gave his life so that I could someday win a $50 award. So thank you.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have the Switcherooni Productions Award. This is for a $150. And this goes to Carmelo Ortiz, Flowers Walking. So Carmelo, are you still sitting in your car?
Poor guy.
Oh yeah, what's going on? Man, that's crazy. Super like grateful. Like, I don't know, that's really surprising to me. Surprisingly, I don't remember what class that was in, but I mean, I can say a little bit about it. I actually just had a thought process of just finding album covers, and I just wanted to that's just thinking about what do people like? You know, people just like the Beatles, people love music. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna take their heads off and just put flowers on them. So that's what it is. Thank you. This is super grateful. I did not realize that this would ever be possible. So thank you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Now you can get back to work.
Go make some more money.
Okay, the next award is the Barkovich Technology Award. This is for $150. And this goes to Ching Fang for his computer illustration, Global Warming. He told me via email that he was unable to attend, so he will not be joining us. The next award comes from the
Jason, excuse me. That is a woman. She is not a man. And she
Oh.
she just had a baby in April, so that's why she's not in class this semester.
Okay.
Thanks.
I didn't know. Thank you for mentioning that, Marge. The next piece, Spoonfish Studio Award for Collage. This is for $100. And this one goes to Jan Yi Lin for her collage Hanami. And I believe she is here with us.
Yeah, she's on.
Hello. This is my first time winning an award, so it's kind of crazy. And I would like to say thank you to my art professor, Francie, from last semester, who has inspired me a lot and given me a lot of good suggestions. Without his suggestions and help, I could not make such a beautiful piece like this. I also would like to say thank you to my art professor, William, for letting me know the information of this activity. And also I would like to say thank you for all of the donors and the people who work for this activity. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The beautiful piece.
Okay. Next, we have the Christian Monticelli Snell Award for Drawing by a Woman Artist. This is for $100. And it is awarded to Merva Duyar, who had to be at class at 5:30. So unless she's skipping class, I believe she will not be here.
That's not her makeup. She would probably not skip class.
No, I don't think so either. Next, we have the Space 86 Award for Advancement. This is for $100. And this was awarded to Melissa Tylock for her photograph, Blue. So Melissa, you already spoke, but do you want to speak again?
Well, sure. I mean, I guess I'll first off say thank you to my sister for being the model for this. It's really crazy to see that picture being picked, and just it's crazy. It's just like all crazy. But I made that a couple weeks ago, actually, for Yasna for one of her classes, and I was starting to work with flash units that I had never worked with before. And just a happy coincidence that everything aligned correctly and got a beautiful watermark down the middle. So yeah, just thank you to my sister for, being a part of it. And thank you.
Thank you. The next award is the Katherine Vollmer Award for Outstanding Photography. This is for $100. Just a quick word about who Katherine Vollmer was. She was an MCC student. She was one of our Lagerwey Prather Scholarship winners in 2019. And after MCC, she transferred to SUNY New Paltz, where she actually died in a pretty tragic hiking accident. So this is kind of in her memory. And the award this year goes to Umara Abdul Rahim for her photograph, Can I Please Come Out? And the final award of the evening is the Belgian Family Award, Comics, etc. This is for a $75 gift certificate. So the winner will get a gift certificate in the mail soon. And the award goes to David Ruckberg for his comic illustration, Cold-Blooded Evolution. And I have not heard from David, so I don't believe he is here.
No, he's on.
Okay.
He's on.
So that concludes the award ceremony. So my plan, we still have a few guest speakers. My plan is to, in the chat, and I tested a ton of this stuff, like a ton of this stuff, and the only thing I didn't test was the actual embed the link in the chat to see if you can link out to the internet. So, again, something's going to go wrong. It might as well go wrong right at the end. So the next speaker is going to be Dr. Jacobs. He is our dean of, I think, like 3 or 4 different areas of the college. So I will turn it over to you, Mike.
Thanks so much, Jason. 3 areas of the college, correct. So I just want to, first I want to thank Jason for all of his hard work in putting together this show. We all know he's got really big shoes to fill, in the wake of Kathy's retirement, but I can attest to the fact that he has worked tirelessly to ensure that the students are recognized properly, to ensure that the hard work that Kathy began 34 years ago continues, and he's just an absolute pleasure to work with. So thank you, Jason. And I want to recognize my colleague and friend, Kathy Farrell. I've only been here at MCC and in Rochester for about 3.5 years, but I feel like I've known her for forever in a good way. That is, and just a few quick anecdotes. I came here from a college in New York City that had, you might count, it was a very minimalist, almost brutalist sense of decor on campus. Everything had to be approved by leadership, and it was very bare, not very aesthetically pleasing. And maybe in my first few days here at MCC, up comes this strange art lady to my office and says, "Hey, hey Mike, I don't know you, but what kind of art do you want in this building, in your hallway?" And I said, the weirder the better, Kathy. And boy, did she produce, because after she was done decorating my hallway, I got about 5 or 6 people coming to me, telling me that they didn't necessarily not like the art, but it made them feel a little uncomfortable. And I said, well, that's exactly what art is supposed to do. And I doubled down and I said, Kathy, you better bolt these to the wall because they're never coming down now. And so I appreciate that. And then if that weren't enough, not that long after that, she came up to me. She knew that Ralph Steadman, who's an English illustrator who collaborated with a writer who means a lot to me, an individual by the name of Hunter S. Thompson, whose picture is right there, and whose my son is named after. She was working with her students and encouraged one of them to do a chair. They were painting chairs in the style of famous artists, and encouraged one of them to do one in the style of Ralph Steadman, and particularly from a book called Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's a very famous picture of the 2 main characters, and one of the main characters, the narrator, Raoul Duke, she had him draw and paint him in the likeness of me. And so I have this chair in my office with me as Raoul Duke driving down a California highway, which is great because she gave him a much better hairline than I have too. So now that's immortalized on a chair in my office. So thank you for that, Kathy. It means a lot to me, and you mean a lot to me. I want to congratulate the students most of all. I see a lot of familiar faces here, and I see a lot of familiar names, and you may not have any clue who I am, which is the nature of what I do. But I have been there the entire time, rooting for you, investing in your growth as artists, and your success as students. And I congratulate all of you on your success. Some folks don't know this. I was once an aspiring artist. I was a film student, and I got a bachelor's and a master's degree from UB in film, in documentary film. But at a certain point, I realized I was much more passionate about, and probably a lot better at, writing about art and teaching art than I was at actually creating art. And so I made the decision to get a doctorate in literature, and taught film and literature for many years before becoming a chair and then becoming an administrator. And I don't regret this choice in the least, because I feel like I am the luckiest administrator at the entire college, because it is my job to champion the arts. I get paid to do that, which is pretty special. I get paid to communicate the value of the arts and to support the arts, to support their practitioners. And every day when we're not in a global pandemic, I get to leave my office and to walk down a few short flights and to be surrounded by world-class art, thanks to the curation of Kathy, but just as important, more important, the creation of the students and the faculty. I want to thank the art faculty here as well, because you have inspired these students and inspired me in ways that I can never truly communicate. I get to speak with these amazing faculty artists and to kind of live vicariously through them. And I just want to leave you with a simple statement, and I want everyone to hear this. The arts matter. They matter in ways that perhaps we'll never be able to effectively communicate, but they matter nonetheless. They pervade every aspect and every institution of our culture, from leisure to politics, from religion to commerce to war. We have used art to express the most beautiful and the bleakest facets of the human condition. And this is because art moves us in ineffable and unnameable ways that other forms of communication and expression can never approach. And we must therefore invest in the arts the same passion and commitment that we do, the same resources that we devote to the sciences and technology and healthcare and government. Our capacity to not simply understand and represent human actuality, but make that actuality more beautiful depends on it. Now, we're living in very strange and uncertain and in many respects frightening times. And over the last year, the term global crisis has been invoked on more than one occasion. And I'm sure all of the artists here and all of the art students know that great artistic movements are often born of human crisis. The one artistic movement that I have an expertise in really began and thrived 100 years ago. 100 years ago, the world was reeling from the most brutal war the world had ever seen, the Great War, or World War I. It was also reeling from a global pandemic that scorched the earth. And it was also reeling from all of the wonderful and terrifying developments of the modern age. And yet from that, what did we get? We got cubism, futurism, expressionism, metaphysical painting, Dada, surrealism, social realism, abstract expressionism, pop art, minimalism. To me, the most important collection of a singular artistic movement that's ever happened in the history of human affairs. And why is this? Why is great art born of crisis? It's because art helps us make sense of the times we're living in. It helps us get through these precarious moments, and it helps us overcome the great challenges of a given era. So consequently, and I'm talking to you, all of the wonderful student artists here, you may not only be on the precipice of the next great artistic movement, you might also be at the avant-garde of that movement, contributing to that movement. So keep pushing, keep experimenting, keep confronting through your art, because we are all counting on you. And thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Mike.
Jason, you're muted.
Yeah.
Still muted.
Officially screwed up 3 times now.
Hey, it's okay.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Wade, right?
And to end the presentation, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Andrea Wade. So,
good evening, everybody. And I have the privilege of being the last to speak before we officially open the gallery. I want to say that one of the first public events that I attended upon coming to MCC was an exhibition opening in the Mercer Art Gallery. And I will say that Kathy Farrell made sure that I knew about it and that I was invited. And it was really an immersive experience. There was music, there was a chance to enjoy the art, to meet the artist, engage with the community, and yes, indeed, Dr. Douglas, there was coffee and snacks. But I was able to do so whenever I had the availability on my schedule. I made it a point to go back because of the wonderful way where you saw people come together in celebration of art. More recently, the pandemic has changed how we do everything in our personal lives and in our professional lives. We've learned to shop for, I would say, almost anything online and to find things to do at home, that we develop new hobbies. But here at MCC, we've seen our faculty and staff show tremendous creativity, ingenuity, flexibility to learn to admit, advise, and tutor remotely, but also to find creative ways to provide instruction. Things that, again, would have been unthinkable a few years ago. Our science labs, our dental hygiene students practiced on something called a typodont, which if you've not seen it, is just a head with teeth. It's an amazing thing. There was a nursing professor who did an amazing video of a physical assessment on an equally amazing dachshund who was just extremely compliant. In the arts, in music and theater, the professors found unique and creative ways to have students not only work independently, but to work collaboratively in remote circumstances. And I'll tell a story on myself is that in this time of scarce resources, I was having conversations with Dean Jacobs about what is the relevance of an art gallery in the middle of a pandemic? How does it work when people can't come there? And he brought to me the concept, the brainchild of Professor Flack, and I would ask him if he, as he explained it to me, I was immediately taken. This is what artists do. They help people see things in a new way, to see the world in a new way, and to imagine things in a new way. And this is an example of how much good can sometimes come out of a challenging circumstance. Not only for today, but for the future, a virtual art gallery provides opportunities that go beyond the face-to-face experience. It's a resource for our current students to view art, to learn about the artist, to learn about the artistic process. And using technology, it's a multiplier. This will serve as a resource for our community, and significantly, where we have a community that many people do not have access to art, to understand it, to view it, to experience it, it will provide access to our community to have those experiences. I want to particularly thank Professor Flack for taking the lead, to Dean Jacobs for his advocacy, and significantly to the faculty and others who built the foundational work that this rests on. And today for the students whose works have helped it to be realized. MCC is so very proud of all of you. And so on behalf of the countless MCC students, the members of the MCC College community, the members of the Rochester community who will expand their understanding of art, their experience with art, and with the artistic process, it is my singular honor to virtually cut the ribbon for this gallery, to declare the exhibit open, and to invite all of you to enjoy these fabulous works. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, and please enjoy. Professor Flack has put the link in the chat, and again, thank you, good evening, and enjoy.
Oh, bravo, bravo.
It looks awesome, Jason.
It looks great. Your students, your artwork just, it's fabulous. It's fabulous.
Thank you.